Good morning, and let's get the top 5 stocks to wash out in trade today. First we'll start with NMDC, where the company's December production rose by 23% to 3.86 metric tons from 3.13 metric tons on a year-on-year basis. Also, the company's sales were up by 19% and they came in at 3.62 metric tons versus 3.04 metric tons on a year-on-year basis. So surely we are seeing some growth and improvement over there, and that's going to keep this stock in focus today. Moving on to a couple of strategic divestment that we're seeing by the government. So first we do have BEML. The government has invited preliminary bids for 26% sale in BEML, and SBI Capital Markets will be the transactional advisory to advise and manage the strategic divestment process. The sale, is mainly going to be done through the open market competitive bidding route, and where interested bidders will be required to submit the expression of interest by March 1st. So that is surely going to keep the stock in focus, and let's see how the stock actually reacts in trade today. Moving on to Rashtriya Chemical and Fertilizers Limited, another strategic divestment where the government is planning to sell 10% stake in Rashtriya Chemicals and Fertilizers Limited, and it has invited bids from merchant bankers as well as legal firms for managing the share sale process. So let's see what actually pans out here and how this process is actually moving forward. Moving on to Adani Greens, the company has received a letter of award for around 600 metric watts of wind solar hybrid power plant project, and with this they have a total portfolio of now around 14,795 megawatt of renewable energy projects. So that is a good amount, a good project which is coming in for the company, and post this project is expected to be commissioned within 18 months from the effective date of the PPA, that's the agreement. So let's see how that actually works out, and what is the process, what is the revenues that will be coming in for Adani Greens. Lastly, we also have Morgan Stanley, which is in focus after the dealer checks, Morgan Stanley on steel, so steel stocks will be in focus. So after the dealer's check by Morgan Stanley, it's suggested that there is a potential, for a further price hike that we'll be seeing in the near term. And, they see a tailwind coming in for the second half of this financial year, that's of FY21. And with the number of with numbers as well as the room for the Street of EPS upgrades, that both these things could see tailwinds for this second half of this year. Now, obviously, the rising international prices, a tight domestic demand supply situation still continues. So, as well as the material tailwinds in Q4, that is something concerning for Morgan Stanley, and this is a note that they are mentioning. So, this room for EPS upgrade is something that we're going to watch out for, and this is the note especially coming in from Morgan Stanley on steel stocks, and that's going to keep them in focus, especially with the raw material prices rising. Also, let's not forget auto stocks will be in focus after their auto sales numbers. So you could say Tata Motors, Zero Motors, Eicher Motors, VS Retailers, all these stocks could be in focus and could see some movement after the auto sales numbers which came out for the month of December.